What's going on? What's going on? We back. More to see sports talk. We in the building, doing what we do. I wanted to fit another stream, man. I want to get more active with these streams, man. I think you guys deserve more streams on this channel, so I gotta pay more attention to the streamer more on this channel and put more attention here, man. I definitely appreciate everybody showing love. We doing what we doing, man. We gonna talk about some Lions once again. A few guys had some questions on Twitter. If you ever want to reach out, you can always reach out on social media, man. Probably best way to reach me is via email. All right, that's the best way to reach me. That's in the description. As long as my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is in the description. Probably the second best way to reach me is on Twitter, at me, DM me, then Instagram, and then down the line. Um, so if you ever got video questions, inquiry, sponsorship, whatever the situation is, Black 313, what's going on? What up, though? Yeah, man. Some people have some questions on Twitter and asked about Justin Houston, Josh Rosen as well. Then we talk about the Lions need to draft a quarterback. What's up, Al? Yeah, one time for the one time. Let's get it in, man. Let's start off with Landon Collins will not be tagged. CJ Mosley will not be tagged. Okay. Uh, what's up, Koza TV? Salute. They both won't be tagged, so naturally, well, I heard some Lions players hitting at it. Snacks Harrison hit at it. Landon Collins to the Detroit Lions makes 100% sense. Um, Especially if they don't believe in Tracy Walker or they don't believe in I get Trey Flowers in a minute, or they don't believe in Quadre Diggs. They always can rule Quadre back to the nickel, lose him as a third safety. You can go Tracy Walker, Landon Collins. Walker and Quadre have DB abilities. Quadre has strong safety abilities too to be able to be an enforcer, big hitter. If I had to prioritize the safety as a need, I wouldn't say it's a big need because I think Tracy Walker can play. But what if he ain't ready physically, mentally? Only the coaches know that. Only he knows that. So Landon Collins is an all-pro safety. You know, if you have an opportunity to get an all-pro safety, I prioritize him above Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas is 29 years old. Now, you might remember Landon Collins from the All-American. I think it was the Army All-American game in high school when his mother got mad. He chose to go to Alabama over LSU. For people that remember that as well. And you got to remember, Landon Collins ain't taking no discounts. You know, he ain't taking no discounts. He was a second-round draft pick. I think he was the first pick in the second round. So, naturally, he ain't taking no discounts. We just get that out the way right now. He wanted to get his bread, and I ain't mad at him. Yep, he was the first pick in the second round. You know, so he wants to get his bread. So I ain't even mad at him. He is 25 years old, out of New Orleans, Louisiana, 6 foot, 220 pounds. They got him listed at, and three-time Pro Bowl guy. I think he got some All Pro in there as well. First team All Pro in 2016. Um, Good guy, man. Rangy guy, can cover in the back end. Got leadership qualities as well. That's the thing that drives me to Landon Collins. He's very vocal. He's a vocal leader, something that the Lions hadn't had, and Ndamukong Suh wasn't vocal to our knowing. Matthew Stafford hasn't been the end all, be all as far as being a vocal leader. Calvin Johnson wasn't vocal, and I believe Snack Harrison and Landon Collins are very vocal. And the Lions have some money to play with. You know what I'm saying? Um, it makes sense, from the standpoint is they need to fill some gaps where they can on defense. And, I don't know if they want to spend money on nobody. That's up to the discretion of the Fords and Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia and all those, Rod Woods and whoever they is spending the money. But if it was me, I would get Bradley Roby to be my number 2 corner, and I'm going to speak on more draft spot prospects real soon. I'm going to finish the free agent spotlight. We got a week left. So I'll finish the last few touches of free agent spotlight through the weekend. I usually don't do them on the weekend, but I finish it off strong. Then I get into the draft spotlights. But what I'm looking at for the Lions is value. Bradley Roby is a value guy. Clowney, he got tagged. Lawrence ain't got tagged yet. Something to look at. Frank Clark got tagged today. D4 got tagged. They looking to trade D4, and we'll talk about that for a quick second. But how we'll do it is, I think, Trey Flowers, for me, I just don't like Trey Flowers. You know what I'm saying? And he fits the system, but for that money, 8 sacks a season, and I just don't. I mean, he boring. If I'm gonna play a boring style for Matt Patricia, well, I'm not going. I'm not. If I'm not gonna let guys go out there and pin their ears back and go get the pass rusher, and they gotta be patient and just just be patient, play their lane, and not being able to be dogs and go get the pass rusher. I'm not spending money on pass rushers. No way. Then the historically the Patriots scheme pressures. You know what I'm saying? They had some good pass rushers. Richard Seymour. Um, Richard Seymour, Chandler Jones, John Jones' brother. They had Jamie Collins was he's a linebacker, but he could rush a little bit. Hightower could play downhill a little bit. But Rob Ninkovich, they like those type of players. I'm not spending money on a pass rusher then. Real talk. I just get those big guys down there and I like to do what they want to do. I just don't see it in Trey Flowers, just my personal opinion. I would probably, if it was my team, I would prioritize middle linebacker CJ Mosley. I would go get him. He's 6'2", but he's a proven commodity, in the league. I know one thing about him. He can stop the run. He can defend the pass. There's no learning curve there. With Devin White or Derek White, whatever, Devin White, Derek Bush, whatever their names is. With White from LSU, I get them mixed up. It's a learning curve there. You know what I'm saying? Playing the middle linebacker position is not easy. It's a learning curve. A big learning curve. I mean, what if he, you putting him there with another inexperienced linebacker next to him and Jerry Davis who just don't get it. Yeah, they both fast. You know what I'm saying? They both fast. But, I just excuse me 1 minute. They both fast, you know what I'm saying? But Davis can't tackle. And then you playing with two smaller, unproven linebackers, you're gonna get ate up. You playing with two smaller, unproven linebackers, you will get ate up. Teams will just run it right down our throat. They're running right down our throat. So for me, I like to go with the proven commodity. I would like to go to the proven commodity, in my opinion. The guy that I know that middle linebacker position is just critical. It's critical. The middle linebacker position is usually what call to play sometimes. It's the quarterback of the defense. They take on the tight ends, the running back sometimes, and Mosley is proven to be an animal. Now he come from a base 3-4 defense. You know what I'm saying? Um, and he'd be able to adjust. The Lions play some hybrid type stuff, man. 4-3-3-4, whatever the hell else they play. But I like Mosley. That's the guy I'm looking at. I like Collins, another guy I'm looking at, and Bradley Roby for cheap price. That's the three I would go for: Collins, Mosley, and Roby. I think Roby is the most Roby is the most gettable guy because he don't cost a lot of money, but he can defend. You know what I'm saying? He can cover. You know, Mosley in Detroit, Collins in Detroit. I would prioritize Mosley over Collins if I had to come down to the money because I already had two starting safeties. But that's how I would look at it. I would draft a pass rusher and not build from there. Then you need depth behind hand and snacks. You need pass rush. You draft one in the first round, and I rock from there. Look at offensive line and stuff of that nature. But like I said before, I'm high on CJ Mosley, man. I'm high. Middle linebackers are a dime a dozen. They're a dime a dozen. It's not too many good ones. The Chicago Bears got Danny Trevathan. He pretty good. The Green Bay Packers is moving Klay Thompson all over the place. You need a middle linebacker. The Vikings got Eric Kendricks, who's a pretty good middle linebacker. But I'm not overpaying Trey Flowers. I just don't see enough on tape. And I'm not impressed enough. And that's just my personal opinion. Don't mean he won't come here and be a great defensive end. But, man, I just like some of the guys. I mean, people saying somebody told me that Josh Allen would be a bust. Not to make it too much about draft, but for me, I don't see Josh Allen being a bust because he ain't fast. He ran a 4.64. That's plenty. He plays faster than he times. So I'm cool. If he fought us, I'm cool with drafting him. I'm not into drafting the offense because I mean, no matter what you get Stafford, you're gonna get the same result. I think the offense is just at the point where they had to do what they got to do. You know, it's at the point where I give them John Brown. And they got to do what they got to do. If not, we run the ball and Stafford drop back 15, 20 times a game, but that's another story. You can keep putting money into Stafford, you keep getting the same results. But we'll see. You know, we'll see. But we talked about Collins and Mosley. I'm finished talking about them, and then we'll go to some other questions we had. But I like Landon. I like Landon a lot. I like Mosley a lot. But the likelihood the Lions getting one of them is slim to none. The likelihood they getting both of them is probably slim to none. I say that because they probably believe in Tracy Walker. They believe in Price. I think they still got Tavon Wilson. They probably still believe, and they believe in Quadre. Obviously, we believe in Quadre, but the question is Tracy Walker. And for Mosley, I mean, it's going to be a lot of bidders out there for Mosley. There's going to be a lot of bidders out there for C.J. Mosley because middle linebacker positions is slim to none, man. I mean, remember, you got Manti Te'o still starting out here for the for the New Orleans Saints. You know what I'm saying? You see how that kid from Dallas changed their team last year. Vander Hutch, whatever his name is, the tackling Dutchman. You see what happens when you got good middle linebacker. Remember Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman was amazing pair for years. You look at the cat from Carolina, Luke Kuechly. I mean, a real talk, middle linebacker is like the position, like the quarterback of the defense, man. I learned that young playing for the West Side Eagles back in the day. The young, that's the position that you want to be in. And Mosley is a guy that I just think that's to be the Lions' number one target in free agency. They need that stability in the middle of the line. You don't need to play with a rookie. You don't need to play with an unproven guy. You got to kick Davis to the outside, man, and get a proven guy. Now, if you feel that Bush or White is just proven or athletically they too good to let go, and I feel them. But remember, you playing with a small Davis that can't tackle. You would kick him to the outside. You playing with a middle linebacker, the rookie middle linebacker at 6'1", 6'2", who undersized. Teams are going to come right down at the Lions' throat and run the ball right between the tackles and try to get to the second level and get their hands on those smaller linebackers. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. With Mosley, he is smaller, but he got his grown man strength. He got ability, and he got experience playing that position. He got a lot of experience. So if you small at linebacker, if you small at linebacker, you're going to need to be big up front. You're going to need to be huge up front. You're going to have to need some road graders up front. You're going to need your Vince Wilfork. You got Snacks. You're going to need Deshaun Hand to be your defensive end. You're going to have to bring in another two-gap defensive tackle. You're going to have to bring in, another big defensive end like Deshaun Hand, maybe like a Trey Flowers. You're going to have to be big up front to really eat those blockers up and get after and let your linebackers roll, because at the point is, if you small, you small defense. The whole point is teams are gonna run it down your throat and wear that small defense out up front. So you got to have size at the linebacker position, but it do help that it is a passing league now more than a running league, where you would have White and Davis running around there covering. But guess what? Gerard Davis can't cover. Davis can't cover. He can't tackle. He barely can go get the quarterback when you send him on a linebacker blitz or a delay blitz. But let's get to the questions. Matt Geiger says Snacks wants him here for sure. Talking about Landon Collins. Matthew Haynes, if we get Collins, we should get rid of Tavon Wilson, most definitely. But you still need that depth. Tavon Wilson, you still need about two backup line safeties, because you will have Tracy Walker, Quadre, Landon, and then the Lions, like the Patriot way, they like to run three safeties. So you're going to need at least two backup safeties. So Tavon Wilson ain't breaking the bank. Pick up the phone for Collins for sure. Our dog, my Geiger, give that man what he wants. He's a game changer. Emercy, the production said Flowers is getting too much credit of late. He really ain't impressed me that much. I feel the same way. Collins, though, defensive end in draft. He from LSU. I gotta do some work on him. Al Dog, get your rusher in the draft, a linebacker and a good corner prospect. We need some offense too. Close the TV. Fred Johnson. Yeah, Josh Allen looking like he nice. Black 1-3, I think 313. Excuse me. I think the only offense we need is a new quarterback. Black 313. Do the Ravens do what the Ravens did to make Stafford work for his keep? What you mean by that? You talking about with drafting the quarterback? TJ Lang. Yeah, I heard TJ Lang. I don't know what's going on with him. He need to retire though. Too many concussions. That Eastern Michigan Eagle need to go ahead and land and retire and try to keep the peace of mind he got. Before he end up like Kellen Winslow the third. I'm gonna talk about him on my channel later if I get to it. But all right, we talked about Mosley, Collins. Let's talk about Josh Rosen. Somebody brought it up on Twitter and said about Josh Rosen. Should the Lions be interested in trading for him as a developmental quarterback behind Matthew Stafford? And I like Josh Rosen coming out of UCLA. I think it was a little bit premature. He came out, but good thing he did come out because Jim Kelly ended up taking over for Jim Moore Jr. So I like Josh Rosen as a quarterback. He can learn behind Matthew Stafford. For a third or fourth round pick, I wouldn't be mad at it. He can develop behind Stafford, but the way the league going now, maybe the Lions kind of want to trend towards a little bit more mobility from a quarterback. But I like Josh Rosen. He ain't breaking the bank neither with the rookie pay scale. I liked him in UCLA. Very confident, very smart quarterback. And I think that's emphasis on smart. And he kind of cocky, what I'm saying? Almost borderline arrogant. I like all the qualities he got from a quarterback. And a lot of people gonna say, well, he bombed out at Arizona last year. Yeah, it was his rookie year. You know what I'm saying? Arizona didn't have a hell of a lot. And he had an offensive coordinator that was holding him back early on, and then Byron Leftwich stepped in when he started producing. But David Johnson wasn't the same. The offensive line was trash. Jermaine Gresham still in the league. Larry Fitzgerald, he made some good throws, and I wouldn't be opposed to bringing Josh Rosen here for a draft pick or a future draft pick because you can build him up. You might could turn him into a first round draft pick. So I'm just looking at it like he played like Stafford. Big, he taller than Stafford, arm stronger. Just as strong. He can be accurate, and you can build him up. But I think the Lions probably want to really go towards a more mobile quarterback. That's what kind of I want to tend to go towards. But that's an asset you could pick up. Because right now behind Matthew Stafford go down, you ain't got shit else behind him. We did. At least you got a rookie, a backup, a rookie quarterback going to a sophomore year. Excuse me. They got some experience, and Josh Rosen did some good things. But what did people expect him to do? That offensive line was in flux. They couldn't run the ball like they did with David Johnson the year before. He got injured versus us last year, and I think was out for the season. Fitzgerald was the only receiver he really had. So he made some good throws down the field too. So, I wouldn't be opposed to it because you're going to develop him. He's going to be on a scout team. He's going to be on the practice squad. He's going to get reps. Stafford can build them up. He don't make a ton of money. You need stability behind Matthew Stafford, but I think the Lions want to go into the next gen. I think that the Lions want to go through the next gen with a quarterback mobility where he able to escape and not have to rely on the 5 offensive linemen in front of him to really block for him. And Rosen got a little bit of athletic ability. He just ain't a total statue, but I think they really want to go into a different direction, in my opinion. But the boy can play, man. I'm a Josh Rosen fan of UCLA. I like his arrogance. I like his confidence. He's cocky. I wouldn't be opposed to him going here because it makes sense. You get stability behind Matthew Stafford, and you get somebody you can build up and somebody for the future. And Stafford is in the 10th year. At some point the injuries are going to start coming, even if they scaling down, touching the quarterback and stuff of that nature. And Dumpster say, I'm a little late already. Talk about Houston to Detroit, or no, I ain't talked about him yet. Coming up on it, Old School Warrior salute. I'm with Montez Sweat for number 8, but it could change. Offensive line is trash, and we can get them for 4th or 5th round. I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, I think more of a 4th or 5th round, picking maybe a 6th later on to kind of compensate. Collins will look good in our secondary. Lions are kind of small in the secondary, in my opinion. Small. I wouldn't say small, but with Quadre, I guess you think small. Quadre 5'9". Tracy Walker with like 6'1", 6'2". I wouldn't say small, but girth-wise, yeah. Yeah, girth-wise, small. Slade's a taller corner. Mike Ford is a taller corner. Agnew and Lawson a little smaller. So, yeah, I think some size will help. And don't forget Jimmy Ward out there as well, too. That's one of the guys that the Lions might target. Jimmy Ward, guy that we was trying to get a couple years ago, just ain't paying out in San Francisco. Jimmy Ward is a Quadre Diggs type of safety. He from NIU, I think, just like Kenny Galladay. He could play the nickel and he could play safety position. Jimmy Ward is another guy to look out for the Lions. He's a guy in San Francisco that's got lost in the sauce. And I think if somebody gave him a position, Jimmy Ward has Pro Bowl potential in my opinion. So I like Jimmy Ward a lot. I liked him coming out. The Lions didn't get him. I forgot who they drafted that year. And the 49ers, I think, moved up in the first round or took him early in the second. I think it was first round he went. I like him a ton, but like he said, we need a little bit of size and all that. But we know the Lions not gonna spend no money though. So Collins and Mosley is a pipe dream, really. Bradley Roby is actually a guy that sounds good, but I don't. The Lions just ain't gonna spend no money, man. They really got their cap down. No dead money. They got money to spend. They had a ton of 1-year contracts last year. They got Ziggy contract franchise off the contract. They ain't convincing nobody they want to win. This offseason, they can't be frugal. They can't be stupid. They can't overspend. They got to be somewhere. They got to find the perfect meshing point to really spend their money. Like I said before, if I'm spending my money, I'm gonna give you the perfect free agency. All right, before I answer some more questions, I'm spending my money. If I got to, it's Mosley, Bradley Roby, and if I can get Collins, I get them on the D offensive side of the ball. All right, if I can get those three, I'm good. Bradley Roby ain't gonna break the bank. Mosley and Collins may break the bank, so you might have to choose between those two. So I have to choose it's Mosley, C.J. Mosley, Bradley Roby on defense. Then on offense, I just look at John Brown. And I draft the offensive lineman, I give me a running back, and I'm good. I'm looking at John Brown to stretch the field out, and pretty much I ain't putting no more money into the offense, man. Because ain't shit gonna come of it. Daryl Bevel will have to prove something to me. Collins will look good now. Okay, I read that one. Black to what do you think about that wide receiver Metcalf? Nah, Metcalf can't run no routes. He developmental, bro. Developmental to the T. Very developmental. Don't have no agility. So you can't go side to side. You straight line speed. Then you looking at a guy with a lot of soft tissue injuries, hamstrings, calves, cramps. Looking at a guy that can't get in and out of breaks. He got a problem breaking to the ball. When I see his agility, speed is one of the worst in the draft. That means timing routes, pattern routes. He ain't gonna work. He got problems catching the ball. He's still young. He a redshirt sophomore, so he's still young. So no, I'm straight on him. Fred Jackson, and maybe we can get that corner from Clemson in the second round. Like 3, do you think he would be good? I'm not sure. He got to develop. If you throw him in there right now, he gonna be something like Laquan Treadwell with the Vikings, another Ole Miss rebel. He need time to develop, or he need to go into offense that he gonna be getting down the field and post routes and double moves. And the best route he probably gonna be able to run is a comeback route. If he can run that, it takes some time and some rapport to quarterback to run a comeback route. You use a comeback route for speedy receivers because a lot of the cornerbacks are gonna play off of and respect their speed. So you do the comeback route, top of the route. The DB already playing them deep. Then you just plant and come back to the sidelines, throw that comeback route. But Stafford be throwing that joker too hard, so I just don't see it happening. You got a receiver that got hands issues. You got a receiver with route running issues. You putting them with a quarterback that's not accurate and throws the ball too hard. Recipe for disaster. I stick with Marvin Jones, Kenny Galladay. I bring in John Brown. Just my personal opinion. Andre Glenn, Honey Badger, nah, too small. Already got a Honey Badger in Quadre Diggs. Just you already got that on your team. You need a bigger corner like Landon Collins, and let's see how big Landon Collins is. Landon Collins is an enforcer. He a jack of all trades, man. That's what I like about him. He's a jack of all trades. The Lions need to get bigger and stronger. You know what I'm saying? And faster. They need to get stronger and faster, man. And that's not always easy to do. Collins like 6 feet. Yeah, you look at Quadre Diggs, he like 5'9". Honey Badger like 5'9". Do you really think Collins will really come here? I really don't, because the Lions are not going to compensate him. You have an all-pro safety. Out there, the Jets got a ton of money. It's a ton of teams with a ton of money. Miami might have some money. It's better destinations to go. If him and Snack Harrison is cool, then maybe he can pull him here. But with the Lions paid Collins above market value to come to Detroit is the question. And historically, the Lions have never paid anybody to come here to play because they don't want to overcompensate. They only overcompensate when you grow in the organization because of the franchise tag. If we went for the franchise tag, Calvin Johnson would have walked away, and Dominic Sue, just like he did, would have walked away, and possibly Matthew Stafford would have walked away. So, they're not in the business of paying unknown commodities. They value in free agency. Golden Tate and Glover Quinn, very cheap organization. They're not gonna really go for it, even though they got their cap together, all the dead money gone. I wouldn't be surprised to see another year of frugal spending in free agency. That's why I said Bradley Roby, John Brown, the Lions. They was matched with the New England Patriot brass, Matt Patricia, because the Patriots were cheap. Martha Ford wanted to be cheap, and despite the Ford company, motor company, not paying no fucking federal taxes, I don't understand why they trying to really, um, save so much money, But it is what it is. I'll get John Ross. Think about John Ross is that soft tissue injuries. Another guy that I think was a bad matchup with the Bengals, but because Andy Dalton didn't have enough arm, but your quarterback ain't accurate enough downfield to hit John Ross. It's gonna take a lot of rapport to form with John Ross. But John Ross, another guy that had a ton of injuries. But I think he a better route runner than DK Metcalf you know. So it is what it is. I like John Ross though. This offense with Darrell Bevel, a lot of play action, hit John Ross down the field. But yeah, dumpster Rocky Sin might not be bad for a late round draft pick. Um, he says Snipes 313, and why is Ebron hating on the Lions so bad? He a hating, he mad, bro. He showing them like, remember he took a lot of hate here, like you suck in this, and he goes somewhere else and ball out. And he didn't like Bob Quinn. A lot of people trying time not to like Bob Quinn. A lot of people got mad because they got rid of Jim Caldwell. A lot of players on Instagram got together and said they made a big mistake by getting rid of Jim Caldwell. I'd rather go all out for Collins because Patricia could plug him, and play him on linebacker. He can't play the linebacker, bro. You can't put Collins and Jerry Davis at linebacker. That ain't gonna work, bro. That ain't gonna work. I understand what you're saying, but that ain't gonna work. They too small. Too small. You're gonna get ran through. Unless you tell them you get you another middle linebacker, but they'll get ran through. You gotta have some type of girth. But yeah, let's talk about Justin Houston and D Ford. The Kansas City Chiefs are talking about moving trade. They franchise tag D Ford and they talking about trading him, and they released Justin Houston. But at this point, I just think Justin Houston, he would have to be a mentor here. But you gotta get some young pass rushers to mentor. They just re-signed back Romeo Rockwood. But at this point, he all used up. Ain't no more gas. It's a little bit of gas left in Justin Houston tank. But at this point, I just don't see him helping us out. He more of an outside linebacker pass rusher. He would kind of be like what the Devin Kennard is. But he ain't as effective as he once was, man. But in the right scheme, he go to New England, he might fuck around and get another 20 sack season. I'm more of the value of getting Dante Fowler before I get Justin Houston. But if you have some young pass rushers that you draft, and you have some young pass rushers that you draft, and you want to have a mentor, Justin Houston, the perfect guy to get in here. But he all used up. He's another faded superstar that come to Detroit. So I don't think that's gonna really help the situation. You need to get younger, faster, and stronger. This team need to be physical, fast, and younger. And they need to continue the youth movement with guys 26, 25 and under, and build a young football team and just build it from there. So that's just how I'm looking at it. Like, you want to get younger. What I'm saying? Collins and Mosley and Rosen are of the younger variety. So you want to always try to get younger. You want to always try to always try to get younger and faster and stronger. You know what I'm saying? That's just what you really want to do in the NFL. So I'm just telling you, that's always the drop, man. You want to be physical, but you want to be fast and younger. So we'll see what goes on. We'll see what goes on. So making sure nothing happen. Oh, the Ravens cut safety Eric Weddle. I think he's gonna retire. He got cut. Um, Buck signed Paul Gasol. We knew that was gonna happen. So pretty much, and Earl Thomas is not gonna give the Cowboys a homecoming discount. But let's keep going. Mark Cunningham says seems like the Lions linebackers are gonna be Lions linebackers are gonna be 260 and up. Is that bad for Davis? 260 and up. What you mean by the weight? Clarification on that. Was that the weight you talking about? I don't think the Lions linebacker is gonna be that heavy. The only one that's probably close to that maybe Kennard, maybe Christian Jones. I'm not sure how big he is. DeJuan Jones, Collins going to the to Jacksonville to play with Ramsey. Best bet is Mosley or P. Smith. I don't know why he would want to go to Jacksonville though. I mean, that's a toxic locker room. They did just get rid of Jonathan Cyprian, so that's a good fit though. But it's a lot of alpha. That's a lot of alpha male in the locker room with Ramsey and Landon Collins, and then they trying to trade the Malik character. And Telvin Smith. Oh, that's a lot of personality in that locker room from Jacksonville. If Nick Foles don't come there and be what he's supposed to be, that freight train could be a dumpster fire like it was last year. Adrian Amos, safety Bears. Yeah, I like Amos, but like I said before, he probably gonna break the bank. Ha Dixon is also. I don't like Ha Clinton Dix. I mean, that'd be a good value pick for them. Um, my bad. It seems like they linebacker. They want bigger. Yeah, that's how it was in New England. They like bigger linebackers, but we see Lions should sign slot receiver Humphreys from Minnesota. Oh, you talking about from Tampa Bay, Adam Humphreys? What you talking about? Give me a second. So yeah. But let's finish it off and let's talk about Justin Houston. Let's talk about Lions quarterback situation. I'm not gonna cook too long on that. Yeah, I like Adam Humphreys. He's a good slot receiver. But I think the Lions need more of I think they're looking for more of a vertical threat to go with. Marvin Jones can get vertical and Galladay, but they think more for speed. But I do like Adam Humphreys. He had a good year last year with Tampa Bay. Well, let's talk about the Lions need to draft a quarterback now. The Lions can benefit from waiting for a quarterback. They really could. They could benefit from next year with Herbert, Tua, 2 years from now, Trevor Lawrence. They could really benefit from waiting. But what if Stafford go down? What if Stafford get old? What if Stafford suffer Alex Smith type injury? That can threaten his career. So they really need to prepare protege for Matthew Stafford. Even if it take up a roster spot, you're going to have to do it because that rookie probably going to have a better chance than Matt Castle. And if you need Matt Castle, you might just carry 3 quarterbacks on the team, or you just tell Matt Castle to stay ready. But at this point, they need to get a quarterback. We know it won't be Kyle Murray, it won't be Dwayne Haskins, but Tyree Jackson, Stidham from Auburn, those are guys that need to look at, especially Tyree Jackson, big 6'5" kid from Buffalo. A guy that got a little bit of got some accuracy, strong arm, a guy that you can put in like they do with that kid from in New Orleans. That can run some quarterback keepers. He can earn his worth in the Wildcat. He can earn his worth lining up and with Stafford, you can get creative with him. I'm a big promoter of Tyree Jackson. They need to build that guy's tools up, sharpen his tools, and by the time he's ready to fly, get rid of Stafford. Stafford can go ahead and walk after 2 or 3 years. Tyree Jackson is ready to play. You tutored him. You did what you need to do. You did the Aaron Rodgers. You did the Garoppolo. You did the Jacoby Brissett. You build his confidence up. You refine his fundamentals. You put packages in for him. But at this point, the Lions need to find a quarterback, man, because if Stafford go down, Stafford in his 10th year. You can't rely on Stafford. You got to start developing another quarterback, man. You got to. This ain't about if Stafford can cut the cheese or not. He here. He getting $27 million a year. After June, I believe it's only a $10 million cap hit. He here. It ain't too much we can do about it. It can't keep investing, receivers, running backs around Stafford, and we're getting the same results. 3 and outs, field goals, and a touchdown here and there. It's time to build for the future, and this is the perfect draft to do so. You got a big 6'5", 6'6" quarterback from Buffalo that can run fast, not expected to go high because he comes from Buffalo with not a ton of experience. If he in the second round, I compromise and I compromise that, and I think for the greater good of the future of the Lions. If he projected to go in the third round, I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to build him up and get him ready to be an NFL caliber player. I'm preparing for life after Matthew Stafford. After 10 years in the league, every other year after that for Stafford is a bonus playing with the Lions. He's been getting killed behind subpar lines. He's been holding the ball too long. He got murdered damn near last year coming down the stretch with all his weapons gone. They don't want to put no Stafford. They don't want to put no pressure on Stafford, but you got to. At some point, he didn't have one of the most relaxed positions in football, making a ton of money, no pressure. He done been pulled from games. He done threw 4 interceptions in games last year. At some point, you got to put some pressure on him, start building you a quarterback for the future, and whatever. If Stafford's still playing for a high level football 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, or somehow he's some All Pro MVP type of quarterback, then guess what? You got an asset in Tyreek Jackson. You can trade him. You can wait, till his last year in his contract. Then you can make a decision to trade Stafford or ask Stafford to retire or just not re-sign Stafford and go with Tyreek Jackson. It's just time to do that. Stafford played with the bad back all last year. No wonder he was always trash before the bad back. He had never done nothing here for 10 years. Nothing. And he's the only guy I've seen that's 10 years and still doing what he's doing. It don't matter. This dude can't anticipate windows. He just can't read defenses. His back, his ass, his ankle, his head. Like shit, I'm tired of looking at that shit. I'm tired of his excuses for him. Oh, he needed a left tackle. He needed a right tackle. He needed a better running back. He need this and that. Oh, it's Jim Bob Cooter fault. At the same time, those might be valid problems. At the same time, we tired of looking at the same dude for 10 years, bro. May have been Linehan, Lombardi, Jim Bob Cooter, Jim Schwartz, Jim Caldwell, Matt Patricia. At some point, that motherfucker ain't worth no 30 million, bro. He ain't worth it. So you got to start preparing for life after Matthew Stafford, man. You got to start preparing for life after Matthew Stafford. And why not take a big kid out of Buffalo? Because you can use him. You can use him. You can use him. He can play like they do with that kid down in New Orleans. He can play the Wildcat quarterback. You can play him back there with Stafford. You can do some trick plays. He could be a short yardage quarterback for QB sneaks, and you could just develop and refine his skills and rebuild his footwork, build an offense around him. He'll be able to grow up in the offense without being thrown to the fire. He'll be able to learn how to be a pro, learn how to take care of his body. He'll be able to learn an offense that's tailored around him. It just make too much sense, man. It make too much sense. They need to go out there and find a developmental quarterback. And I'm not saying take one in the first round, second round, but if you see one that you really got, you got really that really fit what you want to fit what you want to do, or a guy that you believe in that you could build up, it makes sense. What round would you draft Jackson with, man? I would draft him as soon as the second, man. I gotta do some more tape on him. I gotta see where he fall at, but I would definitely try to draft him, man, because it's just Stafford. You never know, unless you select somebody else like Stidham or somebody else you like in the draft. But physical specimens like Jackson, they ain't just walking around. You know what I'm saying? They ain't just walking around the NFL. You need somebody like that, man, a quarterback that's built like Cam Newton. You got an offensive coordinator that know how to work with mobile quarterbacks, work with Wilson, work with Tavares Jackson. Shout out to the ASU Alabama State Hornets. Montgomery's finest Gump. Tavares Jackson, he from the Gump. Shout out to the Gump. I stayed in the Gump for a few years. But yeah, man, if I see somebody like that, physical specimen, and I knew that he could play quarterback in this league and we could build him up, that's what I would do. But last question, Stephen Farmer say, Stafford gets no excuses from me, but I will say that he's never had a good O-line to protect him. Yeah, I agree. Boog Spray say late third, maybe, man. If I knew teams was trying to draft that dude and that joker in the second round, I'd just bite the bullet, man. Because dudes like him don't walk around. But if he third, fourth round, I wait. But dude's like 6'5", running a 4'5" or 4'6", and the arm he got, man, I just have to build him up. But at the end of the day, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers had some terrible offensive linemen. Aaron Rodgers has been down to his knuckles on offensive linemen, man. Aaron Rodgers was missing his whole offensive line at one point. But Aaron Rodgers know how to read defenses and he know how to get the ball out of his hand. Same thing for Tom Brady. Tom Brady had undrafted offensive lineman, 7th, 8th round, well, not 8th round, 5th round pick offensive lineman. Nate Soldier get a check from the Giants from playing with Tom Brady, and he get to the Giants, he suck. He suck because Tom Brady know how to get the ball out of his hands. Tom Brady know when he hit that third step and 3-step drop, or he hit that 5th step with a 5th step and a hitch, he know the ball got to be going out of his hands. Stafford looking for the perfect place to go with the ball. Stafford staring down receivers. Stafford not looking receivers off. Stafford not anticipating windows. Stafford not going through his progressions. That got something to do with the quarterback. Oh, it's over with for Carmelo, my brother. Frederick Williams, what's going on? It's over with for Carmelo, my brothers. Streetwise Television, what's going on? It's over with Carmelo, man. I don't know what he done. Iverson was a selfish player. I understand that. But yeah, that's what it is, man. They got to find them a quarterback to develop behind Stafford. Matt Castle ain't gonna cut it. Now, if you tell me you had a Sean Hill behind him, yeah, but still, Sean Hill was a temporary plug. You need a permanent plug behind Matthew Stafford. You need a permanent, permanent player behind him, man. And Tyreek Jackson, I'm all in on him or Stidham. Kyrie Higdon, man. I mean, I wasn't too big on him last year at Michigan. I wasn't too big on him. But he's solid. Solid. If that running back that I see, which I don't know too many of these running backs, the Jacobs kid, he from the Oklahoma area, he played in Alabama. The Lions need them. Mike Weber would be a good fit from Cass, Ohio State. He good compliment with he ran a 4.47, good compliment with Kerryon Johnson. Connor Cook, I wouldn't put all my eggs in Connor Cook basket. I wouldn't put an egg in there. Colin Kaepernick ain't gonna be in this league again, bro. I don't believe so. Get your money and just start your own league or invest into another league. I like Tyreek Jackson from Buffalo. He's from Michigan too. I didn't know that. It's even more for fit. Mark Sanchez. I'm gone, man. Appreciate y'all, man. I'm already about to get off here. But I just want to do a quick stream today. I'll come back with some more stuff. I'd rather have Carlos Hyde than Higdon. Yeah, Hyde is a good player. Y'all got to ask some more questions, man. But I got to do my FanDuel lineup. I ain't even did no research yet. I like Carlos Hyde. I do. Fucking Sam Mosley didn't draft Devin White. Devin White would be that could work. That could work. Devin White can play on the outside, and you have to. And what you gonna do with Davis? Get rid of him? They might give you a tic tac for Davis. That'll be rebuilding your linebacker core. Who do you like at running back? I like Mike Rebber. I like Jacobs from Alabama. He gonna be gone, but I think you get Mike Rebber in the middle rounds. They didn't really play him a lot at Ohio State. He tried to get released from Ohio State after the running back coach left or whatever, and they didn't release him. But he ran a 4.47 at the combine. Man, I like Mike Weber. Kind of a little bit of explosive back, good size. He from here. Seemed to be a good kid from what I heard. Mark Ingram, nah, I ain't spending no money on that dog. I'm straight. Nah, not Mark Ingram. The Lions need more of an explosive back. You got not but you got Zach Zenner to kind of be strong, be the strong back, and Kerryon is the balance. They need somebody with some explosion. Mark Ingram, nah, bro. About to waste your money on Ingram. You can go somewhere else. But yeah, let me get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all. Much love. And like I said, I'm gonna be doing some more of these streams, man, for real, man. So I appreciate everybody for showing love, man. Blessings. We gone.